I think of this man's comedy as sort of acerbic, dark. It's got a wonderful acid tinge to it. But about his Knicks, he is sunshine. He is in love. It is strange to see what a childhood boy Sam Morril becomes around his Knicks. And last night you were courtside, correct, with all the celebrities, because you're living your sports dreams right now, sitting next to Latrell Sprewell as you're stealing a playoff game in the most magical New York you've seen in 2 decades.
Yeah, pretty stupid. I'm right next to Tibbs last night. I mean, best game maybe I've ever been to. That was epic, man.
That's a prisoner of the moment, and yet
Dan.
I don't think he's wrong. No, but I think New York has they've been swept up. It's not just that they won that way last night, Stugotz. It's the guys doing it the way they do it at the end, where they'll fight you they'll bite your face off to get the basketball back.
It was incredible, but what Sam is doing is what Knicks fans do. It was the greatest game he's probably ever been to. There haven't been many great games there in my lifetime, in Sam's lifetime, and I guarantee you, Isaiah Hartenstein, whatever his name is.
Oh, no.
Hartenstein.
No.
Excuse me?
No.
I
No.
guarantee you Hartenstein has become a top 5 player in Knicks history, according to Sam. I guarantee it just after last night.
And I guarantee you knew his name and you were just trying to rile me up because you got it correct right there. Isaiah Hartenstein, the beauty of what he did last night, and to do it in front of Stephen A., the guy who trashed him. The guy who said, some guy named Hartenstein. Some guy named Hartenstein just played his ass off. Every big floater, shot 7 of 8 from the field, got the game-saving rebound and the game-winning block last night. Stephen A., you don't deserve this with us. You didn't earn it. You weren't down suffering when we were suffering. That's the joy of being a fan, that it feels good because you were there when things weren't good.
Wait a minute.
Things weren't good.
I think Sam.
Front office move.
I think Sam needs to be our new commissioner of fandom.
Yes.
That Sam gets to tell you who's allowed to be a fan or not allowed to be a fan of this team, because you've fallen on your face. You're a giddy school child. It's absurd.
Does Stephen A. not feel like the villain in every movie? He's like, I don't believe in you. And then that guy makes the game-winning play. That's Isaiah Hartenstein. Oh, some guy named Hartenstein. Oh, now you're cheering for him? You don't get to do that. Stephen A. is like the guy in the movie who calls a girl ugly, and then she becomes hot, and he's like, I always knew you were hot. I always knew it. No, you didn't, dude. You're fair weather.
Sam, you can enjoy this without going after Stephen A. all the time.
No, but he's right.
Can I, Dan?
I know, because I don't understand it. You've got a big victory. It's 2-0. Who cares?
It was beautiful. I'm sorry. I got swept up in the moment. I mean, look, Isaiah is great. Dante is money. The beauty of this is Jalen has not even really found it this series yet, and we're still finding ways to eke it out, and that's really Tibbs basketball. That's the culture here. Is Josh Hart has just been brilliant, and OG Anunoby's D and Deuce and Boyan on the bench have been phenomenal. It's been a team effort. It's been awesome.
Mike Ryan, are you annoyed by this Knicksdom making its appearance here on our show for the first time in 20 years?
No, it's earned. They're up 2-0 on the Philadelphia 76ers. That building was everything that we've been told it was supposed to be. No. They get to enjoy their moment as also a commissioner of fandom.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Who's the commissioner of fandom going to be? I'm good, Sam, because you are dopey child around this team. So you're sitting next to Sprewell, and how does that go? Like, is the childhood you sort of, lightheaded?
I was next to Spree last game, not this game. I was next to Tibbs last game, so it's a different vibe. Spree. That bugged me out because I was trolling Josh Giddey. We lost that game. That was against OKC. And, you better believe I had some creative insults for Josh Giddey.
Really?
It's not that hard these days. But I was stomping, and they missed like 3 out of 4 free throws. So Spree started high-fiving me. He's like, he's getting it done. I was like, this is all I ever wanted, man.
I'm so jealous.
Spree is recognizing my fandom. So, yeah, Spree is the man. I did Garden of Dreams, the benefit there, so I got to do my thing in front of the Knicks legends. I took a big risk. It's like 5,600 people in the crowd, and they opened Garden of Last by saying they raised over $2 million, and I was going on first. It was a lineup of heavy hitters. It's like Bill Burr, John Stewart, a lot of heavy hitters, and they threw me on first. And right after they said they raised $2 million, I was like, let me take a risk. Let me do a riff. And I said, and it's all going to Diddy's legal defense fund.
Oh, no.
That got a big pop, and I'm like, all right, I'm good to go here, and like I got off and I got a big hug from John Starks. It's like that, yeah. I'm giddy. What can I say?
Okay, but you're an actual heckler during the game. You're a heckler. You're going after Giddy.
I don't look. I mean, he went after some people too, if you think about it. But look, Joel Embiid. I'm not one of those people. And look, when they blame Knicks fans for like burning the jersey, I'm sorry you found one Knicks fan who did that. That's like blaming all Muslims for 9/11. That's not how we normally are. Okay, we're good, respectful fans. You found the one bad ones who did this shit. Okay, Knicks fans are good fans. So no, I'm not going to root for injury. I think that's disgusting. I have great respect for Joel Embiid. He's a hell of a player. I have great respect for Tyrese Maxey. Tobias Harris, a little overpaid, obviously, but
does that work when you do that? Does that work? Or did you actually keep? What happened? Did anyone?
That always
nothing.
works.
And I don't know why I did that.
But it's the third player you could name.
He
I have to give Oubre credit. He's played good D on Brunson. He's very long and athletic. He's a tough defender. I still think Brunson will figure it out, but got to give credit where credit's due. They're a tough team. Kyle Lowry is so annoying. I mean, God, he's annoying. He's just a pest. He's still good. Still a good player.
I want to play for Sam here some of what happened with Aaron Boone yesterday.
He has the ability to annoy both fan bases. The team he's playing for, the team he's playing against.
Kyle Lowry is annoying everybody at this point. But let's play for what's the backstory I need here, because Aaron Boone got ejected yesterday during the game. I don't know if you saw this, Sam, but he got ejected for something that a fan said behind him. Aaron Boone, when he was told to shut up, actually did shut up, but got ejected anyway. Here's what that sounded like and looked like.
So the fan in the blue shirt is the one who says something to Hunter Wendelstedt. That's what he reacts to, and he kicks out Aaron Boone, who says, whoa, I didn't say anything.
We also have a 40-second clip where Aaron Boone loses his mind.
The first base umpire you saw making that call.
You're not yelling at me. I did what I was supposed to do and check. I'm looking for him to get hit by the pitch. You got anything else to say? You're gone. Okay?
Oh, okay, Hunter.
Wow. You know what? We're not going to need a John Boy breakdown of that one. We got a very clear.
Aaron, they're done.
There you go. Aaron saying I didn't say anything. Aaron saying, hold on a second, I didn't say a word.
I don't care. I mean, you don't care. I did not say a word. It was a bumper dugout. Anything. I did not say anything, Hunter. Okay, I did not say a
It's frustrating if you're that innocent. He was innocent.
He was looking at his nails.
He's an innocent man. He was pretending to look at his nails.
Ridiculous. It's like your girlfriend making you sleep on your couch because of something someone else tweeted at her. It doesn't even make sense. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you, my mom? You're just going to punish me with no evidence? MLB really need to be under fire. Like, they've been letting people get away with this for way too long. Angel, how is Angel Hernandez?
It's a good question. It's a blight on my people. It's a good question you're asking.
I don't get it. Nothing worse than when umps or refs in sports ruin the game for fans at home. Like, that shouldn't have happened,
Yeah, I'm going to try to defend the umpire, because I imagine if me, Dan, Greg, Cote, if we were an umpire, and you tell Aaron Boone to shut up and someone else keeps chirping, when you get to a certain age, Sam, I'm telling you, you're young, I'm old, okay? But I can absolutely see an umpire. It's hot out. The sun is beaming on him. He's got all the equipment on, and he tells Aaron Boone to shut up, and then he hears someone he thinks is Aaron Boone, and he just ejects Aaron Boone.
And he becomes stubborn about it. Greg would do that. Greg Cote would absolutely do that.
You just hear voices as you get older. You have no idea where the voice is coming from, whose voice it is. You just kick someone out.
Yeah, but if you're the umpire, you can't go, oh, my bad. You're right, Aaron.
Why?
Sorry.
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
Once you punch a guy out, you punch him out.
By the way, By the way, I hear voices. You know who else says that? Mass shooters. You don't get to use that as a defense.
What do you mean?
What part of that are you not understanding?
I'm not using that as a defense. I'm using age as a defense where, you just hear things. You think it might be Aaron Boone, so you kick him out.
Yeah, no, that you got to take the L on that if you're the ump. And there's got to be, I mean, look, coaches are always getting fined. Why are umps not getting suspended? Players and coaches are always getting in trouble for chirping back at bad officiating. Why is there no punishment for, like, some of these NBA refs, too? It's like, how is Scott Foster still in the NBA? Like, some of these guys, you're known as being corrupt.
Sam, I think we need to do this with you as like an outtake where you just you come visit the sports world and come with the hottest of sports takes like that one, where you're just, how are these games allowed to be officiated by a clearly corrupt person?
Well, I mean, look, we all know Tim Donaghy was corrupt. Were these guys, some of these guys were around. It's like, you think they were just innocent? It's literally like if you prosecute Henry Hill and you're like, well, this guy was a gangster too, but he can stay out. He's cool.
Where are you going these days? Where are you joining us from, Sam?
I'm in New York City right now because I just taped a special, so I'm off the road until the first week of June. But I'll see you in Miami soon. I'll be at the Improv soon. I'm working out to build up an hour again, so I'll be back.
But you're now going to ride this ride. This is going to be the sports ride of your lifetime, correct? There's nothing you care about like this, right? There's nothing that will feel like this to you.
I may or may have not have canceled a European tour to be here for the playoffs. So, yeah.
My man. Commissioner of Fandom.
I think you've got to be the Commissioner of Fandom. I mean, Stugotz here couldn't name the starting lineup last night and then didn't. And I'm saying you got to be a better fan than that because he wants to jump on the bandwagon. But you're kicking people off now.
No. Look, we're grateful for any fans who are coming through the Garden, but I just think some people who have been profiting off it and trashing us for a living and questioning every move, you get to question their motives when they come to the game. Are they there for the team or are they there to pat themselves on the back? What's
the accusation you're making?
You do the math, Stan.
say it out loud. Say it because now you're going to have court. What I would like, if you can help me with this, because I think the Knicks rivalry needs something on the sideline that's a little bit more modern than Spike Lee. No offense to Spike Lee, he's the original.
You love Spike. You love Spike.
No.
Be careful, Dan. Dan, be careful.
No, but if we can get Sam to have courtside beef with Stephen A., who's also courtside, he insists on escalating this scrum because Knicks fans are siding with Sam.
Knicks fans don't like Stephen A. because they know he's not a real fan. Shout out Knicks Twitter for always keeping it real. We love the Knicks fans there. I love the Knicks energy. All the Knicks Twitter stuff is amazing. They're the best fan base, man. So, yeah, there are killer celeb fans. Ben Stiller's legit. That guy's a real fan. He's awesome. Chris Rock, real fan. Spike, as you know, real fan. A lot of great fans. So Kelly Oubre, come on. Ben Stiller,
Jason Bateman, Johnny Come Lately.
Yeah, I don't know him, so I don't know about that. But look. I'm telling you the ones I know as the hardcore fans.
Sam, good seeing you. Good catching up with you.
Good seeing you guys. Go Knicks.
We were giggling during the break because of all the funny things in that Aaron Boone video. The fact that he was purposefully going out of his way to be humbled. Okay, you said no, not another word. I will not say another word. The camera's on him. He's not going to say another word. But also, he does the move of checking his nails, silently checking his nails. Look, I'm not saying anything. I cannot be incriminated. And so when he gets accused, he's like, wait a minute. I was showing you. I submitted. I was looking at my nails. There was nothing wrong with my nails. And so it was all, yes, that's funny.
Why can't we go back to the instant replay on this? We use instant replay in so many instances in baseball. Good point. We have a clear...
Go back to the nails. We could have used it right there. But I need to go back for a second because you guys didn't see what was happening during the break, which was, it was majestic. All I could say is it was majestic. Greg Cote, I'm going to do a reenactment here. Greg Cote is speaking into his phone a text that he is sending urgently, okay? So he's talking to his phone like this to turn the voice into script. And this is what he said. We need Me Maximum t-shirts, period, exclamation point. In merch store, put a rush on it, period.
That is correct.
If you asked me to guess what Greg said, I would have guessed that.
Me Maximum, it was like hearing a military strike. He rose up, because you guys heard how sedentary he was in the first hour. He couldn't wake up. He didn't say things for 30 minutes, but all of a sudden, dollar signs are in his head. Me Maximum shirts. What do you mean? I could put them in a merch store? He sprung to life all of a sudden, and I need to go back and ask you about the night you slept in the bathtub, because that's an uncomfortable night.
Yeah.
To sleep in a bathtub, no matter how many blankets you put in there.
Right. Well, that's related to Me Maximum TV. The TV was not shut off, and so I repaired into the bathroom with pillow and blankets and everything. And actually, when you have the right kind of bedding, the tub is not that bad. You know, because I'm not a 6'5" guy like Ron McGill. For me, the bathtub is a perfect little cocoon-like place.
Plus, you sleep crisscross applesauce.
That's true. That's true too.
That's weird.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Ow.
he sleeps on his back with his legs crossed.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the
Good
time.
for blood flow.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I'm like 5 feet tall.
Like
when
a
I
like
do
a
that.
like a yogi, like a
Yes,
guru
yes.
of some sort.
With wide,
Can I
yes, with
see?
wide
Like,
open heads.
Has to have been a
yes.
wider tub
Yes.
than I would imagine. Not your standard tub.
No, because when you're sleeping like that, your knees aren't much wider than your hips. You know.
Yeah.
He also rests his hands folded on his stomach like he was in a coffin.
That's correct.
Yeah. Good practice.
He's getting ready.
Do it.
Every night, Greg?
You want to look natural when your time comes.
So you sleep as if embalmed. You're like just getting everyone prepared. One night
Yeah.
you're going to come here, and this is how it'll look at the end.
Yeah, I'm going to have my legs crossed in the coffin. We're going to have a misshapen coffin that's a regular coffin size at the head and then expands for my knees.
Right.
Probably expensive.
It'll be very, I've already
There's
priced them.
there's
I've already
obese
priced them.
coffins.
Are there?
Yeah. Yeah,
mean,
you
the
can't
pri-
put
the-
an obese person in a normal sized coffin.
The price of caskets is ridiculous.
How does it compare to the price of statues? Where do we land on that one?
It's comparable.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it dying ain't free. I'll tell you
Well, how
that.
about this? What
Billy
if your,
talks to my dad like I talk to a 6-year-old.
what if your coffin was your statue? Whoa. 2 birds, 1 stone. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
You mean an upright statue of a coffin?
No, but you're inside
You're
the
inside
statue.
of it, yeah.
Right.
It's almost like a pharaoh of sorts, right?
Wow. You know what?
I don't know
That's
about
not a
that.
bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I could mummify myself.
Dying ain't free! Exclamation point. Put it in the merch store. Put a rush on it! Exclamation point.
It's free to the dyer, but it's not free to the family of the dyer.
That's
you know
what
what I
Greg
mean?
is
Which
saying,
is really,
yeah.
and Greg, as we discussed before, he's a caring man. He doesn't want to put other people in a bad spot
Right.
financially after he goes.
That's exactly right.
Greg, I have the
don't.
answer for you.
Yeah.
Instead of the casket, instead of the statue, we do it old school. Tie you up in a nice bed sheet, put you under an old oak tree. And here lies Greg Cote
What?
living underneath this oak
What are you
tree.
doing?
I like it.
I'm in a bed sheet.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
in a bed sheet, but again, you're going to be on
Why
the
do you
ground. Who
like
cares?
it?
What
An
are we
oak tree. Your
doing?
Dad's laying it.
Living under an oak tree. It's
Okay,
incredible.
what are we
I'm
doing?
not sure about that one.
I love a good nap
All right,
under a tree.
Tony,
I mean,
Tony,
Thank
go.
you.
Look,
What?
Tony, 2 minutes.
we want to save the planet around here, right?
Tony, 2
I'm
minutes.
asking.
Get out of here.
Just
Go,
say whatever pops into your head
go
on this
sit
show.
in a mausoleum over there in the penalty box.
Dying should be free, right?
It should be free.
Yeah.
It should be.
It should be free for everybody.
Put it on the poll.
Dying ain't free. It sounds. Is that yours or did you borrow it? Is it borrowed from some sort of rock classic?
Dying ain't free. I've never heard it said.
It's
I'm sure.
poetry.
Thank you. Whatever happened to the plywood casket?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why do we need an $8,000 casket? You don't know the difference.
No.
You're dead. You know, getting a plywood casket, you know, it'll dissolve before long.
Put it on the poll, please.
The ground will eat it.
Put it on the poll, please. Excuse me, Greg.
What's that?
Whatever happened to the plywood casket at Le Batard
Why are you
Show?
writing down
Yeah, well,
everything
because
I say?
because it's
Yes or
funny.
no?
Because it's a funny. Yes, it's a funny sentence. It's apropos of nothing. I was trying to
Right.
head somewhere else. You've been aggressively you've been grabbing at things.
We're in
today.
his wheelhouse, Dan.
Yeah.
Death. I
We've
mean,
moved away from wood in general as a society, haven't we? The
Yeah.
wooden outhouse is gone as well.
You're right. Everything is polyurethane now.
Yeah,
You know,
God.
like
Don't get me started on
plastic,
carbon fiber,
hard rubber,
cement.
plastic.
Ugh.
ridiculous.
What would you guys prefer? Because the show has gotten away from us today. There are two things I want to get to because the hockey stuff is fantastic. It really is. And also, Greg Cote is dying to do his mock draft because I don't know who the audience is for these mock drafts. I don't understand it. It will elude me for the rest of my life, but he's been doing it forever, and sometimes he gets 5 exactos, and it always beats Mel Kiper, and it's 5 of 32, and it doesn't seem impressive to me, but they all do it, and you guys eat it all up. And Greg spends a lot of time on this. So which do you prefer? The wonder and majesty of the NHL playoffs, the best of snorted sports at the highest realm, or Greg Cote's mock draft?
Is Back in My Day an option? Because it is a Tuesday.
No, what happens is during the Heat Panthers playoff run,
right, at draft week, right?
Yeah, there's like a bylaw that says, because of that, I don't. Oh, Tony's got it going on. Are your legs crossed, Tony?
Greg, please don't watch the show while you're doing it.
Okay.
Greg, please, Greg.
That's good.
Greg, that's not even on the screen, Greg.
Okay, sorry.
Now it is.
It's a nice tree, though.
It's in the corner, yeah.
Greg, they're putting it for my perusal to.
Right. See, he's got his hands crossed like a dead man. I clasp my fingers.
Fingers locked, Tony.
Yeah.
Not
There
dead
we go.
yet.
Right on the
There you
upper
go.
sternum. There you go.
Yeah, and obviously the legs are flat when you cross
Yeah.
your legs.
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
Greg, go ahead and do me a favor. Show him how it's done. Go in there
But
now.
that takes mock draft
No,
off
I
the
And do your
board.
mock draft from there.
No, do it
again.
from there.
Yes.
Do it
I would
from
have
there.
to lay down to cross
Do-
my
do-
legs properly. You can't do it.
All right, let's
on
do.
a
Let's.
couch.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do this. Let's do this.
Maybe we move Tony and my dad goes sideways.
I
on the
want to
couch.
do the segment where we get Greg Cote in what will be his final repose because he's saying this is how I want to be. This is how I want to be buried. This is how he's announced it. Right? You're not fooling around. You're you're announcing to the audience. Look, when it's over, just know the coffin is going to be plywood and it's going to have some room in the hips because I sleep crisscross
Right.
applesauce.
Yes.
I'm
Correct.
upset with myself. I forgot that bylaw.
Yeah, it came up last season
Yeah,
as well.
it's a bylaw.
Am I to understand, Greg, that you, for the first time ever, are going to reveal one of your mock draft picks on the show
I've
today?
never done that. This is the 33rd annual Greg Cote mock draft in the Miami Herald. I have never before preempted myself by revealing an ironclad pick that you can bank.
It can't be one of the top picks, right? It's got to be.
Bank it.
Bank it.
It's going to be Caleb.
You got to
Put
say
that
it
on a
out of
shirt.
the corner of your mouth. That kind of ruins it. Yes, Stugotz, thank you for doing
Yeah,
that.
that would be funny.
Well, of course, that's what
Caleb
it's going
Williams,
to be.
number
That's
one.
it. Yes.
I mean, it's a pick that not everyone would agree with.
All right, forgive me though.
Wow.
I do need to interrupt everything we're doing though because we have not gotten to this yet, and it has been gurgling under the surface for a year now, Stugotz. The Jokic brothers are a problem again. There's a fight in the
God.
stands. The Jokic brothers, it's been quiet for a year. It was lovely. We weren't talking about the brothers being very dangerous human beings who are not to be trifled with in the stands. And now there is video of them in a fight. They are professional fighters,
Hey,
right?
our guy took it. Our guy took it.
ate
and
that
didn't
shot,
really,
Dan.
yeah, he just moves on. Maybe these guys are overrated tough.
Better than Haney.
This is their home arena.
And he's operating from a high point. He's punching down.
Wait a minute, though. That guy was tiny, and he didn't want any of that. Why'd that guy get hit like that? Those Jokic brothers are a menace. Somebody's got to rein them in.
Wow.
He ate that shot.
Somebody's got to rein those Jokic brothers in.
If you want to get punched in the face by a Jokic brother, why don't you download the Game Time app and create an account and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. You can see what your seat looks like right there on the app. And some seats actually have a Jokic brother fist actually popping into the screen. Terms apply, last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. That's right. If you find another price out there that is lower, Game Time will match it and more. All the fees are up front, so there's no surprises at the end. I'm using Game Time for multiple playoff hockey tickets. It is clutch. DAN is that promo code to get $20 off your first purchase. The Game Time app.
Listen to me, NBA. You've got a Jokic brothers problem. They're goons. They're goons, NBA. You've kept them under wraps for a year.
You want those guys to go away?
They're dangerous. No, I want more of them everywhere. I'm
you.
just
Right.
warning everybody. Be careful.
The goons
they,
are
they,
loose.
they don't care about what your societal rules are. However it is you think is the way to behave in an arena is a way that will be adjusted by them saying that you will do it this way.
Me Maximum.
Yes.
Jokic Brothers.
Yes, they are me maximum Jokic brothers. Yes, and they are not to be trifled with, and they will run They will run through your crowd and your family section, and I fear for you all. They're goons. For as much as I dislike, Stugotz, all things about the draft, I have been slightly confused by all of the need for quarterback and need for value at the position. You have to get one of these guys cheap and early. Mm-hmm. The JJ McCarthy thing where you go a whole season hiding that guy and now you're telling me he's one of the best. And I'm like, how are you doing that? So you're telling me Jim Harbaugh is getting a 15-0 tattoo because he took a high first-round pick and hid him all season?
I think with the people who do draft analysis and mock drafts, Mel, Todd, Greg Cote, those people, I think what they would tell you is they're not certain JJ is that good, but enough teams need a quarterback in the first round that he's going to go in the first round.
But need value is what you're telling me, because what I correct me if I'm wrong, please. Because I didn't watch college football like that. I just saw a lot of quarterbacks that were better than this dude and a lot of quarterbacks who were trusted more by their coaches than this dude was. And now Jim Harbaugh says, no, he should go to the top. And I'm like, in what world are you telling me that Michigan won the title last year because of a first-round quarterback? They did not.
McCarthy's odds for going second overall keep lowering. So he's improving his stock by taking on these team meetings and with these workouts that he's having in which he's displaying that he can make every throw. But I'm also left wondering aloud, if he can make all the throws, why was Michigan's strategy such?
We just saw this. This just happened with Zach Wilson. He made one throw at the BYU Pro Day, and everybody's like, oh, my God, this guy is the guy. And then he went second overall, and now he's on his second team, and he looks like a flameout.
I don't know how you rank him ahead of Drake May and Jaden Daniels, and I know that I'm setting myself up to be freezing cold take, but I watch college football all year long in seeing what those quarterbacks were able to do this season and holding up JJ McCarthy and how his offense used him. I'm kind of perplexed by this, and if Jim Harbaugh likes JJ McCarthy so much because he is effusive in his praise, like, go ahead and trade Justin Herbert then and get a haul, because you got a lot of holes on that roster. Be about it.
But for the most part with quarterbacks, don't you feel like we're guessing? Like, we're guessing. No one thought Brock Purdy was going to be this.
This is what I would...
I feel like I'm guessing if all these evaluators are telling me that JJ McCarthy can make every throw, then I very clearly don't know what I'm watching on Saturdays, because it felt like, to me, just like it did with Dan, that they were kind of hiding him.
There's 4 consensus first-round quarterbacks, and McCarthy's the 4th. And then there's a big drop-off to Penix and Bo Nix.
Man, Penix is better.
They said Penix is climbing right now.
No, Penix is better. Penix is better than those other guys.
Yeah, well, he was better in college, but we don't know how it's going to translate to the NFL.
He's got the injury concerns.
Yeah.
He's got the injury concerns, which is probably what's being held against him there.
The thing that I was wondering about when it came to the quarterback, Stugotz, is I was pretty sure after watching more ACC football than I would have liked to this year that we went into the season with everyone saying it's Caleb Williams and Drake May 1-2, and now after seeing them play, Drake May looked great to me. I know at the end of the season they were less than effective, but Drake May looked to me like a professional quarterback. Nothing changed my mind watching that, except that when I watch Penix, I'm like, that dude's better than that dude.
Yeah, I thought Drake May was probably the second best quarterback from a next level evaluation deal, but I'm not a talent evaluator. I did talk to someone in the pros that did the deep dive on Jaden Daniels, and he told me that he was totally blown away by what this quarterback can do, and he doesn't know how anyone doesn't take him after Caleb Williams.
Todd McShay told us on God Bless Football that Jaden Daniels, before the season started, was like a second, third, maybe even 4th round pick. He played his way up to the number 2 or 3 pick in the NFL draft. Like, he was that good.
Didn't he average 10 yards a play last season? Like, that's against everybody?
He was incredible.
Yeah, he was. And then you would tune into big games hoping that he would make a similar impact. I don't know. Like, from being in person, Drake May had one of the best quarterback games I had ever seen against the University of Miami in our program's history. Defense did what they wanted to do entering that game, and it didn't matter because Drake May chewed him up.
On the Michael Penix injury front, he wrote something in the Players Tribune talking about all the injuries, talking about how there's other great players that have gone through injury and had a great career. Last sentence of his profile here: the truth is, an EKG will tell you everything you need to know about me.
Oh, there it is.
Goosebumps.
There it is.
Goosebumps.
Goosies.
Number 2 pick.
Get him.
Goosies. Greg Cote, where are we with your mock draft? Who is that for? I really do want. Please educate me, because I lose to the group. Right? If I want to talk, if I want to talk about playoff hockey,
Right.
You guys are going to say no.
The draft is Thursday, Dan. I mean, come on.
Let's talk mock draft. Greg Cote.
The draft is the biggest thing in America.
The draft is Thursday.
Mike's upset.
I don't.
We got a lot of hockey. We got a lot of runway for hockey.
Do we? We
short
haven't
runway
talked
for the
about
draft.
hockey.
We haven't talked about the draft at all.
It's on Thursday. It's just I don't know. Hockey's position like soccer is on this show, and it's weird. And we actually talked.
I tried to talk soccer this morning, and I
more
got
soccer
scoffed
than,
at.
Good point,
than
Billy.
hockey.
Yeah,
There's a superstar that has gone missing. And also, William Nylander can't make the lineup for the Leafs. Mitch Marner's avoiding contact. That seems bad for hockey. Maple Leafs fans are up in arms, yet they're tied 1-1. We've got a Game 2 down here in Hockeytown for an Original 7 franchise, and we're not talking about it.
It's a weird series, Toronto and Boston. Like, both those teams, like who do you think comes out of that series? Because there's just Boston has been good all year, but there's just something off about them.
Well, yeah, what's off about them is that they switch goalies every game.
What kind of analysis is that?
Good analysis. There is something off.
I've been locked in on the Bruins,
can't
Dan.
mock
He's
them.
right.
What do
He's
you
super
mean?
right.
They started out hot, and now there's just something off of them. They have two great goalies, but it's just they have Marchman and they don't have Bertuzzi anymore. They have Marchman. Who's the other guy they have, Mike?
Marchand?
Marchand.
Yeah.
Marchman's on Dallas.
They got the pasta man, Pasternak. You all right?
I'm telling you, there's something off with Boston.
There is. What they're doing is they're alternating goalies.
What kind of analysis is that?
I mean, they lost 2 straight, headed into the playoffs. They haven't been the same team since the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Go ahead, just mock, Dan. What do you want to add to it?
Let's stay right here.
Mock draft?
They are married to a strategy over in Boston where they switch the goalies no matter what.
Weird.
Jim Montgomery didn't do this. Despite doing it throughout the regular season last year, he changed up his ways, and he lost in the first round to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah,
so he said, no
can't
matter
do that.
what, I'm sticking with this. Even if the goalie does have a good game, we're flip-flopping him for the very next game. And I don't think the playoffs are the time for that.
No.
This is the rare if you have two. They actually do have two goalies.
They have 2 great
Yeah,
goalies.
but you don't have one. I mean,
No, but this is the rare one where they just have two.
Yeah.
You got to go with the hot mitt.
yes.
Yeah. Is it time to start questioning Jim Montgomery?
It is. Here's what you do. You play one goalie until he loses. He loses. You play the other goalie. You play him until he loses. It doesn't seem that hard. I fix
That's
you.
playoff hockey.
I fix you, Boston. Mm-hmm. Where is William Nylander?
That's what I want to know.
What is happening?
Who is William?
Who is the audience for your mock draft, Greg Cote?
NFL fans. Are you kidding me? It's the most anticipated single thing in the Miami Herald every year, the mock draft.
Wow.
Is that true?
Yeah. People are
It's for
all
red-blooded
over it.
Americans, Dano.
That's right, Dan. That's exactly right. No, it's. I'm looking forward to doing it. I think I may do a live mock draft analysis Thursday night.
Excellent.
Where are you going to do that?
From my home.
Nice.
Yeah.
On
I
God
don't-
Bless Football, you mean?
I don't think he means like audio. Like you're gonna just like be blogging.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a pick
Old
by
school.
pick grade of my mock draft.
You know, if you were to do this in real time, Greg, there would be you doing it just.
We're doing a watch along. You're welcome to
You
join
can
us
hang out
if
here
you'd
with us,
like.
yeah.
You
So
should
Greg,
do
when
that.
a team makes
You
a
should-
pick, I could throw it to you for analysis.
You should. They're doing a watch along. You
Yeah.
should participate by televising whatever
From your
nonsense. I think Mike Ryan should televise his group chat on the NHL. I think that should go be scrolling right down our screen right now is what should be happening.
Just put my phone up on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a good
Yes.
idea.
I think it's a
The
good
most
idea.
dangerous
Group chats
games,
are a bad idea. to
Group
make
chats are a
public,
very
yeah.
bad
There's
idea.
always the one.
Yeah, you remember
know?
what Neil Brennan said in his most recent special about friends and texting?
I do, but for those who don't.
Well, if you know you have a good friend, if your texts ever become publicly exposed, you get fired.
Wow, harsh.
Greg, how many exactos for you last year?
5.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that a record? What's the
Yeah.
record?
That's about the norm. In the past 7 years, I've had 40 total.
You're not counting, though. I
Well,
mean.
it's about 5 a year. Huh? You know, you got some bad years, some good years. All of it's asinine, though. Like,
Yeah, you average 5.8.
Do you realize how bad a success rate that is to get 5 exactos?
That's actually
no,
good.
No, that's really good.
Mel says the same thing.
Yes.
Mel says you want to get 25 of the
Yes.
30,
I mean,
32 picks
Jesus.
and 5
Thank you.
exactos.
Yep.
I understand. That's why Greg Cote always kicks Mel Kiper's ass on this. Like, that's the reason he counts is the only thing that matters. If I told Greg Cote, man, this would be a good list, Greg. If I asked you, like, the things you want from this business before you go,
Right.
the concession from Mel Kiper that you're better at picking exactos than Mel Kiper over a 10-year run, you'd put it highest place on your resume.
Yeah, that it would rank up there.
But you use Mel's picks to research.
No.
No.
I scan several mock
It's an
drafts that I
aggregate,
respect.
right, Greg? It's
Collects
an aggregate of
information.
all the other ones.
Uses Mel's.
Fantasy Pros.
Mel uses him. I mean,
FantasyPros.com tracks mock results every year. Last year they ranked 172. I had 133 composite points by whatever their methodology is, and Kuiper had 134. So he actually
close.
beat
Big
me by
year.
one.
So this is a big
at that.
year, though,
However,
right?
One out,
the mock drafts that I personally beat included Peter King, Mike Florio, Chris Sims, Todd McShay, Armando Salguero, several others.
Several others.
Of known.
Who'd you
known
throw in there?
mock drafts.
Armando? Something?
Yeah,
What
you know,
happened? What did you throw?
I had no business being there.
Wait,
It's
wait,
a local
what?
thing.
No,
It's a
give me-
local
no,
thing.
What was the
Yeah.
list again? Give me the list again.
Peter King.
Peter King, Mike Florio, Chris Sims, Todd McShay, Armando Salguero.
Just to name a few.
Yeah, just random.
You took them all out?
Random names. Yeah, my mock draft was rated higher by Fantasy Pros.
What about Orlando Alzagari?
I don't think he was rated. Does he do a mock draft? I
The
don't
Big
know.
O.
Does he do a mock draft?
I don't know.
He's just asking.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He's already on to next year. I mean,
Yeah. You know, some people do mock drafts like 3 years in advance, which is ridiculous.
And that's
Can
what's
you imagine
ridiculous.
that?
That's what's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Kuiper's first mock for next year comes out day 3.
I don't
Before the draft's
understand
even
it.
done.
Why-
It does.
It's amazing.
I don't think there's any place in sports where I have a larger disconnect than here. I don't. I'm like, what? Wait, so you guys care whether Greg gets 4 exactos? Yes, we do.
There's a
Yes, we
trend.
do.
There's a trend in mock drafts that is very unsettling, and I'm trying my hardest to hold up a shield against it. And here's what's happened in mock drafts now. Everybody does many mock drafts. 5.0, 6.0. Kuiper does a half a dozen mock drafts.
Cop-outs.
Cop-outs. Greg Cote does 1 mock draft.
That's
that's how
right.
you do
What,
it.
what
I
about
do
that,
one.
Stands the
Kuiper?
test of time.
What about that, Kuiper?
How about that?
One.
How about it?
Did we
Me
get you?
maximum.
All of this
mock
is
draft.
the perfect setup for you to give us your
Maximum.
pick.
Did you give us the pick?
Give us the pick.
Okay. All right. This is this is going to be one of my exactos.
14.
This is one of them for sure.
13.
Okay.
Guaranteed exacto.
This is for sure an exacto.
With the number 7 pick, the Tennessee Titans draft.
This is a new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
Thank you.
I have no idea who it is now.
Joe-
Now I'm very upset.
There you go. The
Joe
mock,
Alt. Oh my
I
God.
was stunned by his pick that got drowned.
the mock
Stunned.
draft will be in Thursday print and online Wednesday morning, unless I can pedal fast and get it done by later today.
Pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotta speed it up.
Pedal fast.
People need it.
I got to pedal. I'm busier than
Greg, are you a
one-legged
trade?
punter.
Are you a trade man in your mock draft? Do you predict trades?
No, I do not. That's
I
another,
like that. I
That's
like that.
another trend I don't like.
No.
It's
Oh, this
hard-
guy's trading here. This guy's trading. How do you guys
it's
know?
So
It's nonsense.
ridiculous.
He's not a fortune teller.
No, I mean it's common knowledge. There's going to be a handful of trades, probably starting with Arizona at number 4.
So you
but-
are projecting one.
Here he goes.
No, what I do is
Sounded like you just said it.
I'm going to pick Arizona number 4.
Yeah.
But in my 1-paragraph capsule, I'm going to mention this is likely to be where all the trades.
You're gonna hedge.
begin.
There was some
Yeah,
buzz
right.
yesterday about the number 3 pick potentially
Could-
being
It
traded.
could happen, New England.
Patriots
yeah.
are taking phone calls.
Yeah, it's without Belichick there, it's more of a wild card.
Trade for Justin Herbert.
Because Kraft supposedly is getting.
You know,
really
if
involved.
Herbert gets traded, what you really got to do is you really got to see what the Chargers are going to do at number 3. Because if the or not 3, at number 5.
Well,
because if they don't take McCarthy, then you know he's not worth it. No, but if they don't,
But if the quarterback's
then
already
you know it's all
gone-
bluster.
If they need a quarterback and don't take JJ, then you know he's not
Oh,
good.
he plummets.
Right, yeah.
Out of the first round, I would say.
If the Chargers draft a quarterback, they're going to be the laughing stock of the entire.
Not if they
draft.
trade Herbert beforehand.
Right.
Well, that's true, but I haven't heard any rumors about Herbert being
Oh,
traded.
I don't know. Check on Minnesota. What's
Okay.
happening over there? I don't know. Just
All right.
asking.
Okay.
Wow, that is not exactly getting in strong with your reporting.
I'm
with-
not reporting,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying.
I'm just asking.
Whispers, Dan.
The Duke,
It's whisper
but
season.
I know, but the Duke has to be a little
It's
more
Tuesday.
aggressive than that.
He's
What
still
is-
working on the
Tuesday.
story.
Okay,
There's
wait. Okay,
whispers.
wait.
Just collecting information.
Developing story.
No, but I want look, Billy. The
Hey.
next move for you as the Duke, the national and international top insider, is to have perhaps a little draft info that others don't have
Well,
because
I'm
you're
looking.
so well
I'm
connected.
looking. I'm fishing.
because
Dan, we've got an entire show to fill
Exactly
on Thursday.
right.
It's early.
Can't give you all the goods now. I'm plotting out what Thursday's looking like. It's looking like damn near 4 hours.
Well, this is going to be amazing.
It's a long draft.
4?
Billy.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're going to from start of 8 p.m. until the 21st pick, I was doing 10 minutes at a time. It looks like the Dolphins are going to be picking around 11:40. Then we're going to have to wrap up the show. So it's going to be a long night on
Dolphins
Thursday.
may trade down. They may not even pick in the first
Hold
round.
on.
Oh, they better. They better pick in the first round. If we're advertising this first pick until Dolphins, they better pick in the first round. I'm not staying here until 12:30 at night for the Dolphins to do nothing.
Very good chance they don't pick in the first round.
They better.
Okay,
Wait a minute. So now what do I need to root for here? Greg Cote is now predicting that the Dolphins may be leaving the first round while Billy does a draft spectacular that's going to be hours long.
My hope is they trade up to 7 and we're out of here by 10.
That'd be great.
Billy wants to be.
Why 7?
9:05. We're out of here. See you guys.
Billy
Get up to
wants
1.
to trade up for Caleb Williams. 5 minutes, fart it out, run out the door. Giving it a maximum effort.
Perfect world.
Yes, you don't want to do a 4 and 6 hour broadcast, but since we're here, how about you advertise it slightly more enthusiastically than that?
Well, we're going to be here hanging out. Maybe Greg will join us. Maybe he won't. I'll be here. Tony will be here. Juju will be here. Jess will be here. Stugotz will be in Detroit-ish, kind of joining us live. Lucy will be there up in Detroit. She'll be checking in if we're allowed to, still trying to figure out that situation.
Well, we haven't done anything like this. You're leading a draft day spectacular.
Yes. I am.
And how are you feeling about it? Because
I mean, it's still coming together. Lots of moving parts. Lots of things happening here.
So you're about to launch a space saucer into the sky, the Duke's imprint on draft night.
Well, I'm just going to be reacting to what's happening. I don't want to oversell it.
Should be talking shop, Dan.
Yeah,
That's what we're
exactly.
going to be doing.
We're going to
While
be
wearing
here.
kiss makeup.
Well, that's something that has been discussed. We were discussing maybe we start out and one at a time. Maybe we go out and we do the kiss makeup situation. So we're trying to figure out exactly what's going on there.
4 hours is a long time.
It is a long time.
The draft leaves these wide open spaces.
10-minute windows, that we got to fill. That's what we're trying to figure out. And fingers crossed, Stugotz's connectivity in Detroit works out because, truth be told, we're only doing this because Stugotz wanted to cover the draft, and then he's going to be in Detroit, so I got to kind of man the ship down here.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for doing that.
I'm trying to make your dreams come true.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for it.
From Detroit-ish.
I was just there.
Sports are just so great.
Aren't they?
I love sports.
Yeah,
man.
it's a great time.
It's all happening, isn't it?
It is all happening.
It's just all happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you got
everything.
Football,
Yeah.
you got NBA playoffs, you got hockey playoffs, you got baseball doing its thing. You even got important European fixtures in soccer. It's just
baseball
I love sports.
doing its thing. You were a fan for a minute. Now it's baseball doing its thing.
I got baseball on the 4th TV. I mean, I'm a fan of the Seattle Mariners. We got the best whip in the league. I'm up to like 7 players whose name I know.
It is a fun time, as evidenced by the fact that the Miami Heat have played one playoff game, and Mike Ryan lost his mind in the first hour, and everyone got to eat.
He was fairly reasonable, I think.
I was. You kept needling me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I understand that they've been a great franchise, and they've given me a
but
lot
it's
to be happy
dynamite
with.
time over here.
Yeah.
It was dynamite time before last year, and you just kept telling me, well, they made a finals. I'm like, okay, but we still need to win a championship. Gotta compete.
I mean, you ask these guys to have vision and not react to what it is they see. They're showing vision.
Correct.
That's what they're doing.
And by the way, dynamite does not mean trade everybody.
No.
It means add a piece so that Jimmy
No,
Butler is
no,
not your
that's
best
not-
player.
wait a
Dynamite means
second.
blow it
That's
up.
not what
No, now you cross the line.
Oh,
You crossed the line.
controlled
That's
explosion.
blow it
that's
up.
asinine. You either say you play. No, what are you doing?
It's a
No, it's
controlled
not.
Explosion. Okay.
Controlled explosion,
It's a
exactly right.
controlled
Ball in the
explosion.
jack.
Just a couple of
Okay,
sticks.
dynamite does not go willy-nilly. Dynamite, you gotta. First of all, you have to know how to use dynamite.
Yeah.
Okay. When you blow up a building, you blow it up so that it falls straight down. You don't blow it up so it explodes every which way and kills innocent people because big chunks of brick are flying all over the place.
Dynamite time doesn't have nuance in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dynamite,
if you-
yeah,
Dan-
surprisingly
It's
nuanced.
his dynamite
I
time.
bet you all your dynamite knowledge comes from Looney Tunes and Acme. That's not
Yeah.
how dynamite actually works.
In the cartoon, Wile E. Coyote is blown up by dynamite.
The smithereens.
And then the next scene, he's perfectly fine again
Yep.
because the Acme dynamite is designed to be strategic.
To regenerate.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way dynamite is in real life.
Yeah.
And so when I say they need to dynamite the Heat, I don't mean blow up the whole thing.
No.
I mean make strategic additions to what they've got going
Precision strikes.
Exactly.
Those are not the same thing.
I'm with
Yeah,
Dan.
they
No,
are.
I'm with Dan on this.
So dynamite time. It's either dynamite time or strategic things. It's not.
It makes no sense what
Like,
he's
what are
saying.
you doing?
I follow.
He's right.
And I agree. I think you see the lay of the land, and if the opportunity is there to upgrade the roster as it presently stands,
Right.
you do that. But if you're going to whiff again, then you blow it up.
Yeah.
You can't go into next season with
That's
this whole
time to
thing.
nuke it, not dynamite.
And I will say this, and perhaps Mike would agree with me. I don't think anybody should be safe on this roster.
I 100% agree with
If
you, and
you-
I've always been a fan of your takes.
If you have to trade Butler and Bam,
Oh, we're already
to
there.
get who you want, I'm just
After
saying.
one
if.
game.
No,
If.
I've been
After
there.
one game.
No, I'm sorry.
If.
Excuse
After
me.
2
We've been here
years.
for 4 years.
For the
He's
love
just
of
saying
God.
if.
After 4 years.
For the love of God.
I don't want to have any more Bam Adebayo discussions. I
Mike
really
has
don't.
been saying it. I
I
mean,
don't
he has.
like and come on.
After one game.
What you think Jimmy's
If.
going to bounce
It's
back
not
next
one
year?
game.
I have the Heat winning tonight.
What
Or
about
tomorrow night?
Do you really?
Why do we have to wait till Wednesday for
Why
game
are there
2?
so many
Basketball
conflicts?
is
Why are there
ridiculous.
so many conflicts? Like there were conference finals games that were going heads up against one another down here in this market.
Jimmy's going to be healed by game 4.
You have 4 televisions. What do you care? You're watching a Mariners game on
There's
one of the
there's
TVs.
still not enough
whip.
time. I couldn't even watch Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch won the world heavyweight title. I couldn't
Wow,
even see it.
spoiler
Well, it's
alert.
just
How
a
about that?
women's world title. They don't say heavyweight because obviously.
We didn't even talk to you about your WrestleMania excursion in the middle of that.
We
That's how
handled
you
that on
decide.
Friday.
You decided to snort that before.
Yeah, we talked about that on a Friday. Right now, I'd really like to talk about how the Winnipeg Jets had the best defense in the league, still found a way to surrender 6 goals against the Colorado Avalanche, and still somehow won. Wow. What a series that is going to be. Do you think the Avalanche knot things up tonight? Either way, I'll be there watching.
How about Canada having 4 teams alive?
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Is this the
How
year
about
the
all these
streak ends?
Americans? How
They
about all these
invented the
Americans
game.
being the best players for the most part outside of Edmonton?
That's progress.
You have the
Yep.
captain, best player on Vancouver, American.
Yep.
Austin Matthews, Mexican American.
Yep.
Incredible stuff happening.
That's why Arizona needs a team.
You remember?
I'm just
that
saying.
warms the cockles of my heart.
Yeah.
Evil cat. I hate Billy.
How so? It's fair to ask this
It's
time
just
of
you
year.
can hear
is
it
this
from a
the year
mile
that
away.
Is this the year that the streak ends where Canada brings home
be.
Lord Stanley?
78, right?
We haven't.
It's been a while.
We haven't properly articulated what's going on with the Maple Leafs. They haven't beaten the Bruins since when? The 1950s in the playoffs. They've gone 6 series losing to them in sometimes spectacular fashion.
Well, Jim Montgomery's doing his damnedest to make sure that streak ends.
It's just 2 big franchises, original 7 franchises, all the weight of the world on Toronto, and they have 2 superstars that have gone missing. One of them legitimately.
I thought it was the original 6, no?
No,
Is it
Florida's.
7?
That's a common misconception.
Florida's the original
Florida's
7, yeah.
the 7th franchise.
When it was annexed, yeah.
It's been since 1992-93. The Canadians won the cup.
Yeah, all that history. Boy, I'm telling you.
You do understand
Beezer.
though when he says the history of Toronto and Boston hockey, like from your grandparents. Do you realize that when we talk about the allegiances that Mike has as a Heat fan, do you understand what those people in Toronto and Boston feel about their hockey? Like how they suffer this time of year because it's so random, reckless, electric, and in Toronto's case, they always lose?
Well, Dan, you're usually so good with words and establishing a narrative. Why don't you tell us?
I looked around the room here, around what it is that we were doing.
Yeah.
Watching Mike Ryan trying to talk hockey, and I'm going through my head and I'm saying, this Montgomery, he has flip-flopped his goalies, and I read this morning all the content that was birthed because they lost this time to Toronto after beating Toronto all the time, every time they played them this season. And so the coach comes under it with a fan base that goes back to last year and says, we were the best team in the history of the sport, and we were gone in the first round so Mike Ryan's Panthers could enjoy the playoffs.
They have essentially a Bam Adebayo conundrum in that they have one player that frustrates them because he just goes missing in these moments, and that's Mitch Marner. There's damning video of him avoiding contact, trying to dump a puck around a guy and just skating out of the picture, and that's when the puck's in his own zone. And William Nylander, who played the final game, woke up, quote, tweak something, but his coach had criticized his effort prior to, and there's a whole conspiracy saying that the coach is just keeping Nylander out of the lineup. Meanwhile, Tyler Bertuzzi and Max Domi are out there on the first line with Austin Matthews. God, what a time.